All right, we're back looking at TouchOSC. I'm here, and my dog is nursing back to health, so just had a little bit of time to answer some of your questions. So we're going to take a look at two DAWs today. We're going to connect TouchOSC with Ableton Live and Digital Performer 11. Yes, people still use Digital Performer. I appreciate the questions and comments you all sent in, so be sure to like and subscribe to see the answers to some of those questions, as well as a few other tips and tricks using TouchOSC. All right, so we're gonna start where we left off last time. So pull up the editor, and here we go, I already got it set up. And of course, you're gonna wanna have your iPad on and ready to go as well. And let's go ahead and connect. So as we remember from last time, editor network server enabled, and then in our iPad, we're gonna click on the kind of like Wi-Fi signal, hit the connect button, and then we're in. Okay, so first let's make a button, and then let's make a fader. Let's make two faders actually, and let's make this one blue. And then let's do a radial. And you'll see why in a second. And I think just for the purpose of making sure that we know what we're doing, we're going to renumber these CC1, CC2, CC3, and CC4. So let's go ahead and do that. And the reason we're doing this is because I think it'll be easier for us to check on what's going on in our DAW. Oh, that's 2. Remember, we have to set it to constant because we don't want it to be within a range. We're just trying to send a specific message. Okay, cool. So now that you had it set up, let's get into Ableton Live and we'll get this connected. It's super simple. Ableton makes it so nice and simple to work with any of your TouchOSC templates. So for this video, I went online and downloaded free trials of a ton of different DAWs. Some are going to be in this video and some will be in a next one. But yeah, that took a lot of time to download all of these trials and load up my C drive with all of these programs that I'll probably never use, like Digital Performer. Although I'm making fun of Digital Performer a lot, I actually kind of really like the new interface, and maybe I'll play around with it over the next several weeks that I have, I guess few weeks that I have to play with it before the trial ends. I don't know, I was kind of impressed with how it looks now. All right, we're in Ableton Live. We've got our setup on our iPad with the TouchOSC template open that we're working on. Here, let's go ahead to Options and then Preferences. And this is the page we need: Link, Tempo, and MIDI. And in MIDI, we're going to connect the input as TouchOSC Bridge and the output as TouchOSC Bridge. Just a reminder to make sure that you turn on your bridge when you're starting to work on this. Start menu, activate bridge. Doesn't look like much happens, but it's working in the background. And then we're going to turn on track, sync, and remote. Right now we're just turning on the inputs, but if you want to do more with TouchOSC, you can definitely turn on the outputs to receive signals from Ableton Live. Exit out of that. And let's pull up our mixer. And we're going to use this button here in the top right corner for MIDI Learn. So we have MIDI Learn activated. And let's select this panning for track number 3. And we're going to move our green encoder here. And you can see, a little 1-4 button came up. Let's go ahead and turn this off. Turn off MIDI Learn. Let's move our green encoder, and we have movement coming down here in the 3rd track. Okay, let's hit the MIDI Learn button again, and let's left click on our fader, move our red fader. Let's click on our 2nd fader, this is track 4, move the blue fader, and let's turn this off and try those out, and they work. And we're able to control the volume on our tracks for track 3 and 4 that have these faders locked in on them. Let's head over to the kind of track view of everything, and let's add a marker, a locator. Add locator, and hell, let's add another one just for the sake of it. And we're going to hit the MIDI learn button again. Let's select marker number 1 and push our red button so that now that's been marked. Turn it off, and you can select anywhere. Let's go ahead and head over to measure 113 here. Hit our button, and it clicks right back to our locator. And there you go. We have a few different simple setups of how you can use TouchOSC in Ableton Live to jump around your main track view, to locators, to use the faders, and to use an encoder. Of course, there's way more you can do, but this is a base setup for Ableton Live. So let's say you still want to see some of the different CC mapping that you've done in Ableton. Let's go back into Ableton real quick, and you can view them by hitting the MIDI button here, and then over here on the left there's an arrow. Let's pull that up, and this is everything we mapped. So you could change the parameters for what is the maximum level that we could go to, what's the minimum, and you could also delete them. And that's a simple way to set up TouchOSC with Ableton Live. All right, let's open up Digital Performer and connect TouchOSC. So this is Digital Performer 11, and let's go ahead and add ourselves a few tracks. So we'll just go up to the project, add track, let's get a MIDI track, and why not a stereo track. Now, Digital Performer, even though I'm kind of making jokes about it, is pretty incredible and very easy to set up. Now let's head over to the mixing board. And obviously this is where we're able to control everything. And let's go ahead and right click on our little panning here, attach MIDI controller, and let's move our encoder. Now let's not right click, just left click on the fader, move our red fader, left click on this fader, move the blue fader, and then let's click outside, and you can see that everything was responding right away. So yeah, it's pretty simple to set up Digital Performer and Ableton Live with TouchOSC. Hopefully this gets you started with TouchOSC. There's a lot more you can do with really any of these DAWs except for Pro Tools. But I think working with TouchOSC, developing your template, and being able to control a lot of these faders, you know, the EQ, things like that, it'll really make your life a lot easier. So good luck on making your template, and be sure to like and subscribe to check out the next videos where we dive in more to TouchOSC with your production setup.